Hello, students. How are you? I hope you all are fine and healthy, and your families too. Children, this side Pooja Sharma, your physics teacher from Cambridge International School, Dasua. I am back with the next video of physics. We are on to the chapter motion, and we are doing the topic of graphs, the graphical representation of motion. One topic we have covered, that is distance time graph, in the previous video. Now we are going to continue the same and we are going to cover the second part of it. So let's get started. Let's revise first what we have already learnt till date in this graphical representation. So the first topic which we have done is distance time graph for when the body is in the state of rest. In that case, we studied that when the body is in state of rest, the distance time graph will be a line parallel to the time axis. It means the body is in the state of rest. Where the body is, it is there only. Only the time keep on increasing, but the distance will remain the same. Next we did is the distance time graph for uniform motion, where we did that the slope will be inclined and it will be a straight. If the slope will be straight one, it means it is uniform motion, and there will be equal change in distance in equal intervals of time. And the last one we did is distance time graph for non-uniform motion, where we did that there will be a non-uniformity in between the distance or the time. The time may be the equal intervals, but the distance will be having some variations, because of which the graph will not be having a straight line but a curved line. Okay, so that means it is having non-uniform motion. Now children, we are going to start today's class. In your previous class, we did the distance time graph. Last topic of that portion is left, that is how to calculate the speed of the body under this distance time graph. So we are going to continue from there, and then we go on with the next topic, that is velocity time graph. So in distance time graph, let's say you have this distance time graph where you have uniform motion, uniform speed, because the line is straight inclined. Now let's say I mark 2 points on this line. One is point A and one is point B. And I want to find out the speed between these 2 points. Now what I have to do here is, from this point A onto this y-axis, I will mark a point where I will write S1. And from B onto the y-axis, that is onto the distance axis, I will write S2. These are the two distances, S1 and S2. Similarly, from A onto the x-axis, I mark the first point T1, that is the initial time from A. Then at B onto the x-axis, that is onto the time axis, I mark the second point T2. So if I know the position of S1 and S2, and if I know the position of T1 and T2, I can put that in the formula and I can calculate the speed of the object. Now the formula is speed is equal to distance traveled over time taken, where we write speed with V, that is speed of velocity. We write distance traveled by S2 minus S1, where S2 is the final distance we marked in respect of B, and S1 is the initial distance. So S2 minus S1. Similarly, time taken T2 minus T1, where T2 is your final time and T1 is your initial time. So you have to find out the points from the graph, put the values, and you can find out the speed. Now first of all, you need to know the values written at S1, S2 and T1 and T2. For that, look onto the x-axis. It's written the intervals 0, 20, 40, 60. So let's take the first interval 0 to 20, where there are 10 gaps in between. So if we have to find out the value at each point, we do final minus initial and divide it with the number of gaps in between. So here it is 20 minus 0 over 10. That is 20 over 10, that is 2. It means that the value at each point is 2. 0, then the next line is 2 minute, then the next line is 4 minute, then the next line is 6 minute, and so on. Now similarly, if you look onto y-axis, that is distance, the gaps are like 0 to 10, then 10 to 20, then 30, then 40. And if you want out the point, the value at each point, so let's take the first one, 0 to 10. The initial is 0 and the final is 10. And in between there are 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. In between there are 5 gaps. So what we do is final minus initial over 5. That is 10 minus 0 over 5. That is 2. It means here also each point is of 2 kilometer. That is 0, then 2 kilometer, then 4, then 6, then 8 kilometer, then 10 kilometer and so on. Okay. Now, if you have to find out the value of S1, look onto the graph. It is 1 below 30. That is 30 minus 1 gap, and 1 gap is of 2 kilometer. So 30 minus 2, it is 28 kilometer. Similarly, S2, it is 1 gap, 1 line below 40. So it is 40 minus 2, that is 38 kilometer. Similarly, T1, that is written at a point 1 line after 40. That is 40 plus 2 minutes, 42 minutes. And T2, it is at a point which is 2 lines behind 60. So 60 minus 2 lines. 2 lines means 4 minutes. So 60 minus 4, that is 56 minutes. Now we put the values in the formula to get the value of speed from this distance time graph. So that is S2 minus S1 over T2 minus T1. S2 is given 38, S1 is 28, put the values. Similarly, T2 is 56 and T1 is 42, we put the values. When we calculate it, it is 10 over 14, that is 0.7 meter per second. Now children, this is about how to calculate the speed of an object using distance time graph. Once you can again go with the concept and revise it well. I'll be giving you a worksheet also to solve same kind of questions so that it will be more stronger to you. Next we are going to carry on is velocity time graph. So the first graph under this is velocity time graph with constant velocity. Now if you look onto this graph, the variation in the velocity with time for an object moving in a straight line can be represented by this velocity time graph. In this graph you can see that x-axis time is written, obviously it is the independent quantity, so it will be written on x-axis, and along y-axis we have written velocity. Time is in hours and velocity is in kilometer per hour. Now look onto the graph carefully. Velocity is at 40 kilometer per hour when the time is 0. After some time, the time approaches to 1 hour and the velocity is still 40 kilometer per hour. When the time approaches to 2 hours, still the velocity is 40 kilometer per hour. So we have a line parallel to time axis. So this is going to show you that the velocity is constant. Constant means your car is moving, but its velocity is neither increasing nor decreasing. It is constant. Slope, we find out that it is a constant graph. The velocity is constant. Second thing which we can find using this graph is the distance. You know that velocity is displacement over time. So if you have velocity time graph, you can easily find out displacement or distance. That can be find out. Okay. Remember one thing over here, that to find out distance or displacement in graph, you have to find out the area covered under that line. Whatever you have to find out, what is the area covered under that, just find it out, you can get the result. Okay, repeating again, in the graph, if you have to find out the distance or the displacement, just find out the area along x-axis under that graph. You will find out the distance. Now let's say you have to find out the distance moved by the car between any 2 points, any 2 time intervals. We can take those time intervals as t1 and t2. That can be from 1 hour to 2 hours, that can be from 3 hours to 4 hours, whatever it is. Write t1 for the first time interval, that is the initial time interval, and t2 for the second in time interval, that is the final time interval. Then corresponding to that, draw the perpendiculars onto the line, onto the slope. Okay. And that is going to tell you the height. That is going to tell you the velocity actually. Fine. Now, if you look onto this graph, when I do this, I get a kind of rectangle. And the formula, the area of rectangle is length into breadth. So here we can take the length as AC and we can take the breadth as CD. Okay. AC is the velocity axis. You have the value of velocity 40. Then T1 and T2, that is T2 minus T1 is onto your time axis. As per whatever you want to find out, put the values of time, calculated, you will get the result. Next we have is velocity time graph for uniform acceleration. Now in this graph you can see the table. First of all, we have the time intervals and we have taken the time at a regular interval of 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, means at a gap of 5, 5. And we have the velocities of the car. We have it in meter per second as well as in kilometer per hour. So let's say kilometer per hour it is 0, 9, 18, 27, 36 and so on. In meter per second it is 0, 2.5, 5, 7.5, 10 and so on. Okay. So according to this table or according to the inputs which we have, we can draw the graph. Now how we can do that is at time 0, the velocity is also 0. Now when the time is 5 seconds, the velocity is 9 km per hour. When the time is 10 seconds, the velocity is 18 km per hour. When the velocity is 15, when the time is 15 seconds, the velocity is 27 km per hour. When the time is 20 seconds, the velocity is 36 km per hour, and so on. So according to the points which we get, we draw a line joining all those points and we get the slope of the graph. Now in this case you can see that the slope of graph is inclined and straight. It means it shows the uniform acceleration. Means the velocity is changing. It means there is acceleration and it is changing at equal interval, at equal level. So it is uniform acceleration. Now children, as we have done in the previous graph for constant velocity, we can also find out the area. We can also find out the distance under this graph as well. Fine. What you have to do is that similarly you have to take the points. Fine. The time intervals. draw the perpendiculars, see the kind of figure you are getting, and find its area. Like in this case, we are getting a kind of trapezium, or if you're not so much aware of it, or you get the complication in solving it, you can split the graph as it is done here. They converted the total area into the area of rectangle and the area of triangle. Then we put the formulas. Area of rectangle is base length into breadth, and the area of triangle is half into base into height. We substitute the values into it and we can find out the distance. Next we have is velocity time graph with non-uniform acceleration. Now in this, because it is non-uniform acceleration, so there will be not a straight graph, not a proper inclined one, but there will be variation. So there can be any shape into it. For example, in A part, you can see that we have the velocity time graph that represent the motion whose velocity is decreasing with time. Okay, and the intervals are not same. See, the line is drawn, but it's not meeting all the points. Fine, so it forms a kind of zigzag if you actually join all the points. So it is not a straight one, so it is non-uniform. Second, in B diagram, in the B graph, you can see that the variation of the velocity is with respect to time and it is non-uniform. So this is, now children, this is all what we have to do for today. I hope the concept is clear. Let's revise it once again. First we have done is calculation of speed of a body. For this we used the formula, that is speed is equal to distance traveled over time taken, where we put the initial values, final values. We did final minus initial distance and final minus initial time, and then we calculate the result. Then we did the velocity time graph with constant velocity. Here we have taken the velocity constant as the time keep on increasing, but the velocity level is at 40 in the graph given. So it's not changing, so it is constant velocity. And for this, we have a straight line parallel to time axis. If it is thus, it means the velocity is constant. Then we did how to find out the area under the velocity time graph. For that, we draw the perpendiculars from the time axis onto the line. We locate it as AB, and then we find out the area under that figure. That area of that figure will tell us the distance or the displacement covered. Then we did the velocity time graph with uniform acceleration. In this case, we have a straight line, but it is inclined to the time axis. It's having a slope with some angle, inclination. Then we can draw the graph by using, then we studied about how we can draw the graph by using the inputs. Okay, and then we can also find out the distance or the displacement under this graph as well. So we find that out. After covering this topic, we have done the last graph, that is the velocity time graph with non-uniform acceleration. So because the name says it is non-uniform acceleration, so there will be a lot of variations. There are a lot of increase and decrease, and the points are also not in a proper symmetry, not in a proper line. So we don't get a straight line into this. We get some zigzag kind of paths or a curve kind of path, which shows that it is non-uniform acceleration. Children, this is all for the today's video. I'll be sharing a worksheet along with this, but a bit later. I hope the concept is clear and understood to you. For making it more clear, I'll be sharing a link of your NCERT book, which include this chapter. You have to once go with the concept, and then in the next video or 2 days after this video, I be sharing a worksheet so that you can solve it. Okay. So this is all for today's session. Thank you so much. Stay safe, stay healthy. God bless you.